Welcome everybody to another Friday and another installment of Mike Hawley Yoga. This week we're going to go over side angle pose. But more importantly, this is going to start teaching us about how yoga can help us explore what's right for us. Right? That's one of the most amazing things about this practice is that we start pulling these threads out of this veil that really covers our truest self. So you might find during this process, when I show you a quick little practice of how to get into side angle, that one of the versions is more appropriate for you. That's what you take. So let's begin, huh? Let's bring ourselves up to standing. We take a wide-legged stance. Now, your stance is going to vary, but we won't go too much into that. We're going to turn one of your feet forward, and this back foot kicks on a slight angle. And then the hip points, right, the ASIS points face forward, and I bend my knee over my ankle. This starts me up for the alignment of the legs and side angle. Right here, knee tracks over ankle, back foot powers into mat or floor. Great. Let's try that again, right? Let's turn one of the feet forward. If you're on a yoga mat, it'll be parallel with the outside edge of the mat. Back foot kicks on a slight angle, and knee bends over ankle. Beautiful, I power up my legs, and then we come into the second part. I bring my forearm, really the center of my forearm, right to the center of my thigh. My other hand comes to the hip, and I start rotating this posture under. Nice. So that's part one. That might be it for you. Take that on one side, take that on the other side, you're good to go. If you're in a yoga class, that might be what's appropriate. But let's say you're like, Mike, I want to be a little bit deeper into this pose. I've been practicing for a while. So then I raise the left hand up towards the sky. I can even look up towards that hand, right? Okay, so that's adding on, right? We'll keep adding on here. Feet position stays the same. We bend knee over ankle. I raise the hand up, but instead of just lifting it straight up, now I reach it up and over. I stretch the fingertips towards the front of the room. I power the back leg up. Perfect. We're deepening this, right? So now we have so many different options. You have just a hand on hip, forearm on thigh, one hand stretching towards ceiling, the hand reaching towards the front of the room. So let's say all of a sudden you're ready to start learning how to bind in this process. Forearm to thigh, hand to hip. Now, I take these days, I bring my hand to the inside of the leg here. The block is going to help is going to help the process of helping you learn to bind. So you might be here for a while. Same alignment things work with the left hand. Hand goes up, hand goes over, shoulders relax. Beautiful. Okay, so now we have a block, we have the hand on the floor, we have the hand moving out in front of us. What's next, you say, Mike? If you want to start learning to bind, we take that left hand behind the low back. Eventually, this block comes out of the way. Eventually, I learn to sweep this hand deeply under, bind, and lean back. Now let me show you what that looks like from the back so you can see what happens here. So same aspects of the leg alignment take place. Knee bends over ankle. This hand comes to floor. Left hand behind low back. I deeply sweep the right hand under, bind. I don't lean forward, but I lean back. It takes time, right? That first version where I brought the forearm to the thigh and the hand to the hip and I just worked on the leg alignment, that might be what's right for you. But start there. Start with learning the process of coming into side angle, learning to bind. You'll eventually get the bind, right? And you just practice, practice, practice. The hardest part is really pulling those threads out of our ego to determine who we really are. I hope to see you back here next week at Mike Hawley Yoga. Namaste.